morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Welcome to being here.
Yes.
I'm Ariel.
And I'm Shia.
In case you haven't noticed,
My voice is deeper than hers.
that's true. And also, a cat
is not a dog.
You know, if we expect our cat to come when we call her,
we will be severely disappointed.
If we expect her to be interested in everything we do,
we will be very disappointed.
If we get upset, if she gets annoyed when we pet her longer than she wants
and bites us,
yeah, she'll get like, get away from me. That's
a cat.
So there are many, many circumstances in all our lives where we want to turn the cats in our lives into dogs.
You know, dogs, they're friendly.
They're loyal.
They're your best friend.
They're happy to see you.
Yes, they wag.
But nope.
A cat, yeah, indifferent, aloof.
Now, of course, our friend Adam, who will be calling on in a little
bit, has a cat that's like a little dog.
It really, really comes and is around.
And wants affection all the time.
Yes, it's very cool. However, for most people, that is not their experience.
Yes.
So today, we're going to play around with investing in what is rather than talking to ourselves about what we would prefer. So let's listen. I'm listening to Shia. Shia is listening to me. Hopefully you're listening to both of us. And let's see where it takes us.
Yes, let's.
Shall we grab our guest?
Our guest,
Adam. Welcome to being here.
Where are you calling in from, Adam?
Thank you. I'm calling in from Manhattan, New York City.
Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you. I did pick this topic because I have cats, so I appreciate the shout out. But what keeps coming up for me this during this call when you talk about this is my fiance, who I'm getting married to very soon. And I find that when I get upset, I start wanting to change him. I want him to do the dishes more. I want him to clean the bathtub. I want all these things that it's just not his nature.
Well, slow down for a second. I think you said something really interesting. See, when you're upset, so what if, I don't expect Ariel to clean the kitchen. And when she does, that's delightful. But it's not like I need her to do anything differently than she does in order to be okay with me. And if you get lost in having a complaint about your fiance, it's you who's upset. See, it's you who has the problem. It's not them.
And just so you know, you're still promoting your point of view and being right about it. Because when you laid out the situation, you laid out some very specific things like cleaning the bathtub or doing the dishes, like the second one was. And you said it's not his nature. And that means that I have to learn how to get over it because he'll never step up and do these things. And I guarantee you, when he lived alone, he did his dishes and he cleaned his bathtub because you weren't there to do it. So he may not have cleaned the bathtub as often as you do, but you don't know that. However, I'm reminded of something. You have learned how to relate from the family you were raised in and the dynamic. And it may not have occurred to you that you are creating the dynamic between you and your fiance. And I recall sometime down the line when your mom, who introduced you to us, had come to several seminars, and she often complained about how her husband never did the housework. And I remember when she came to a seminar and then came to an evening after this, and I couldn't believe it. I got home and my husband had cleaned the house. He'd vacuumed, and she shifted, and it allowed him to express himself around the house.
But here's an interesting possibility.
Yeah.
Not doing the dishes and not cleaning the bathtub gets your attention. So I wonder whether that's a call for you to give him attention.
Which I
Right?
believe is the
Yeah.
same conversation we had with his mother.
Probably. Probably.
Yeah, I forget, it's so funny because I forget that that's something that my mom talked about because that's not their dynamic anymore. They
No,
love
But
like
it
cleaning the
is,
house together. It's very
yes, but
cute.
it is the dynamic that you were raised in.
Yes.
So how she got attention was by complaint that he wasn't doing enough to help her.
and how he got attention was by not doing things so she would turn her attention to him.
Mm. Yeah. The attention thing, I think that's a good point too. Because sometimes I don't know if he's calling for attention, but sometimes I'll be doing like housework and he'll be, watching TV, and maybe me thinking that he should do something is really me just needing to give him some attention rather
Well,
than
the possibility, Adam, is that you could not do anything, just hang out and watch TV with him.
yeah.
But that may be too intimate. I don't know.
I love that. That, intimacy is confronting, and we're not talking physical intimacy here. We're talking about being with another
together,
human being.
Just being there, not producing anything. I remember when Ariel's father was very well along in dementia, and we were sitting with him one day, and he said something to the effect of, "So, what do we talk about now?" So, what do we talk about now, Adam?
You and us, or just in
Oh, you and
Robbie.
Robbie.
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah. Here's the other thing. You're still it's like the Army Recruitment Center is still open. Anybody who's got a fight with their partner, you've just got them on your side of the tug of war. When you say sometimes he's watching TV and I'm in doing the dishes, people are going, that lazy slob. He should get up and do his bed. And I
that is not the case.
Yes, it is the case that you got that from people. You elicited that from people.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I know you're like, oh, that isn't what I meant, but it is what you meant. And here's the thing in regards to TV. I don't know about you, but there's some nights where I'm sitting a little vegetative and shall get up and I'll actually hear him doing the dishes and I have no desire to get up and help him. And then there are other nights where he's watching TV and I would much rather get up and do the dishes. That gives me pleasure. And I'll get up and do them. And it's not like I wish he was there with me. And then there are other times when I'm like, hey, let's do this together. Or he'll say, let's do this together. But any one of those options are not born of a fight. What you're talking is symptoms of an ongoing battle between the two of you.
And hey, man, that's a normal way where people relate. So you can do that.
That's love. You learned that love comes along with bickering about who does
what.
And that your mom and your dad morphed into partners that are doing things together and enjoying doing housework together rather than your turn, my turn, is a possibility for you two as well.
Yeah.
But you can't go about it by design. You can't sit down and talk about how you're going to do it going forward. That will end up a disaster. I don't know, it'll end up exactly what it's like now. The only way that it will really turn around is when you surrender to doing the dishes when you're doing the dishes, rather than have a conversation with yourself that he should be there doing them, or he should do them with you, or he should do the bathtub because you're doing the dishes, or whatever it is that you're internally conversating with yourself about. That is a word these days.
It is a word,
Yes,
conversating.
yes,
It wasn't
yes,
very
and
much.
yes.
Yes. The other thing is, if I ever feel like I'm doing
Too much?
well, not too much. If I ever feel like I'm moving toward the victim zone about activities that in our home, whether it's whatever it may be, I talk, Rochelle, like I'm starting to talk to myself about, well, actually, I can't recall when I'm about to lie. I don't recall that ever happening. I like to do certain things. He never does the laundry ever because I like it. You know, I'd probably fight him for the washing machine. And
But I do the dishes on a regular basis just because I do the dish. Hey, this morning I looked at the kitchen sink, and there's a crack along the backsplash of the kitchen sink where the backsplash joins the countertop. And in that crack was corroded, stuff from however long it wasn't clean. So I took my Windex and I sprayed it, and I took a toothbrush and I scrubbed it. And then I took paper towels and I cleaned it. And now it's pristine. And I feel great about that. That was fun. And then I found we had some kind of counter polish, There's I cleaned it's a granite top countertop. I cleaned it and then I polished it. Oh man, it was so much fun. And then, we got these place where we have all our knives. It's a piece of wood that has slots cut in it that the knives fit in. And I looked and I saw all kinds of crumbs there. I took all the knives out, set them off on a counter, and I scrubbed and cleaned and then put that wax over top of that wooden slot that holds the knives. And then I looked and I saw, oh, the stove needs cleaning, and so on. And I had a great
fun.
I had a great time doing it.
And he wasn't down there going, I wish Earl would give me a hand with this.
Right. It wasn't about that. It was my engagement in my moment of my life, and it was fun because I said so. But if no two things can occupy the same place at the same time, Adam, and that's true for your mind. If you're engaged in what you're doing with totality, you are not in the midst of a complaint that Robbie isn't there helping you.
Yes.
But when you're in the midst of an argument, an ongoing bicker fest, then everything is fodder for the fight.
And I'll tell you, the fighting is about to get more intense because we're recording this right before your wedding. So all of the ways he could potentially be wrong or you could be potentially wrong are going to come to the foreground. This is just this incredible opportunity for the two of you to keep discovering how in love you are. And it's a challenge because we go back to intimacy. And also going back to trusting yourself. Am I making a mistake? I think Robbie's the one. I love Robbie, but whoa, what if I'm...
It's a lifetime. Well, there is this thing called divorce, but
And then all your friends coming and they're all thinking about you. And if you have a half a dozen of them who are in a huge fight with their boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse, and they're thinking about you, and now
you pick that up. So the only thing I can suggest is to be kind to yourself.
That's not, he didn't say be kind to Robbie. He said be kind to yourself.
See, if you're kind to yourself, you start to bring that kindness to everything you touch. Every piece of silverware that you wash, every plate that you wash, is washed with a kindness and a gentleness. It's not to get it over with. It's to be there in the interaction of that moment of your life. And look, I know you. I've known you since you were a kid.
You have?
Yes, I have. And you're dedicated, man. You're an amazing dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And, I don't know if we'll ever release these as
videos,
but I can see your home behind you. There's a certain impeccability about it. And that's your nature too.
Yeah.
So, Adam, it's about being kind to Adam. Because that voice that calls itself Adam is not usually kind in the way it sees Adam.
Yes.
You know, I'm watching your face, and again, I don't know if these will ever be
The
released
videos.
with the video. We might, because YouTube would support it, but I see you keeping moved, like almost as if you're going to be moved to tears. And
Yeah.
I feel like you're going into just this incredibly lovely, vulnerable time. You know, not only are you about to make a commitment with a man you love, but you have a lifetime full of people who are coming to celebrate you and witness. I mean, we'll celebrate you and Robbie, but we don't know Robbie that well. He's more peripheral, as in he's newer in our life. But as Shai said, we've known you since you were a young person. So people are coming to celebrate you and be with you while you're making your vows.
But if your sense of self-worth is not sketchy, that's a good word, well, then you won't realize that they're there for you.
It's what you're in the midst of right now is growing your tolerance for experiencing love.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I could tell you a story, but it's just true. So
we don't necessarily release these in the order that we record them. We recorded one earlier today with Renee, whose husband had been suddenly desperately ill to the point from being fine one day to the next day
being in the hospital
and not sure
on life support.
Yeah, not sure he's going to live. And I can guarantee you she did not care if he ever did
another dish
or ever washed the
bathtub.
Yes. So I'm thinking that in a way, you're the one years ago who introduced us to the concept of first world problems.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's like you were saying,
it is
my generation says first world problem. It's I don't like my pillow.
Yeah. My pillow's too high or it's too low. It's never right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I just felt stressed. I felt tense, and
but of course, my friend, you're this is an incredible time. You don't have that many opportunities for the big life events. There's weddings, there's divorces, but that's not like a wedding because you got everybody coming. You have some
funerals.
Mm-hmm.
You have getting a job, losing a job, perhaps getting into the college of your choice for you, but it's nothing like this. This is something that you've been programmed with since you're a little kid. So of course you're gonna have stressors because you have Robbie, you have your venue, and then you have the background of all the culture of how it should be, all the weddings you've seen on television, all of that.
Yeah, true. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And one last thing before we end this part of the podcast, this segment. You cannot do
it wrong.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now it's your turn. Let's hear what one of you listeners has to say.
about being here in the transformation community.
This is Dave. I'm in Winnipeg in Canada. Listening to Being Here podcast just helps me relax into myself. I connect more with my family. I connect more with myself and the world around me. And it really does relieve me of the conversations that I have and the being hard on myself that just seems to come so naturally and then melt away so easily.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shire's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
We have a weekend virtual seminar coming up in 1 month. New Beginnings. It's virtual, as I said. It's on January 6th and 7th.
That's through Zoom.
It's a great way to start the new year.
Rather than through New Year's resolutions about how you're going to be a better you, but by discovering how to access and live in the current moment of your life where everything happens.
Also, just letting everybody know, since January 1st is on a Monday, we are doing 2 Living Made Easies on January 2nd. We'll do the European evening time frame from 7:30 to 9:30. On our time zone, it's from 1:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon. And in the evening, we'll be doing the Monday evening on a Tuesday. The Living Made Easy will be Tuesday the 2nd. The theme for both of those is transformation in the new year. So you are invited. We're just giving you a heads up. If you'd like to start the new year with us, we have both of those. We have transformation in the new year on a Tuesday, and we also have new beginnings.
Now, Costa Rica is still available for those of you who have been thinking about it.
If you're a procrastinator.
It's still open, but there is a prerequisite that you do a seminar, a weekend seminar with us in the year prior to the course, and that only one left will be New Beginnings. So you are invited.
Also, our calendar for 2024, if you don't have one yet, it is beautiful. The pictures, I took all the pictures.
They are outstanding.
Shout out to our friend Wendy, who's a designer. She did a brilliant job. You can find out about everything we're up to, including signing up for our newsletter, getting blogs at transformationmadeeasy.com. All right, let's take our next guest.
Yes, Thomas.
Welcome to Being Here.
Hello, Ariel and Chaya. How are you?
We're awesome.
Good. Where are you calling in from?
I'm in Allschwil, Switzerland right now.
Well, welcome.
Yes.
Thank you. I was caught by the title, especially by one part of it about the fish, touching the fish. How is it exactly called?
Yeah, I'll read the quote just in case the person who's listening is out and about and doesn't have it in front of them. It's an Albert Einstein quote, and it says, "Everyone is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid."
Yeah, I was caught by this part about the fish because I'm still judging myself about the things I cannot do and about the things I think I'm bad at, like dating or playing part of a special music I'm playing at the moment, or...
But let me ask you a question, Thomas.
Yes.
What are you really good at?
I'm quite good at taking pictures, I guess.
Yeah, photography. I knew you were a good photographer.
Yeah.
Now, whenever you have these conversations that you're not good at something, you could engage in something else volitionally not indulge in complaining about yourself. Look, I was born about 82 years ago, 83 years ago now, because I'm going to be 83 in about 3 months. So there's your time frame. I was born with a condition called dyslexia, where I couldn't read easily and I couldn't spell words easily. I couldn't retain it. Even though I practiced and tried, I was stupid at it, from my opinion. I turned out okay, man. You've turned out okay, and there are certain things you may not be good at. I mean, I can't program a computer. Can you?
No, I can't.
Good. Then we got something together there. That doesn't make me or you less.
But I would like to, I love this word, disabuse. If you have an idea that you're stupid,
you're abusing yourself with that idea. So to disabuse you of it is to take the abuse away.
I don't see you as bad at dating. I believe that you date and then you don't date. And if you're saying you're bad at dating, then there must be some outcome from dating that you are looking for that is not about dating. Because I happen to have been around some of the people that you've dated or know people. And I know that some of them are geographically not located near you. Like I know a gal you dated who lives in New Jersey and she still adores you. That doesn't make you bad at dating. It's just impractical for you to be spending a lot of time together.
Yeah.
The other thing is this. You're a little shy.
I am, yes.
So am I. My name Shia is pretty good because I'm shy, and so are you. It doesn't mean that you cannot move through that shyness if you see somebody that you'd like to spend time with. It takes a little courage.
I'll tell you
something. See, here's the other thing, my dear. You've made decisions about yourself when you were a kid.
Yes.
Other kids made fun of you for whatever they made fun of you for.
Kids are cruel. They probably said,
yes, they are.
Yeah, and they probably said a lot of things about whether or not you're attractive, and they picked on aspects of your body, and they told you you're unattractive, and it went in there like a recording.
And it went in there like it's the truth. And what I got to tell you is you're a very attractive man.
Thank you.
And now, you may not believe it, but Ariel tells me I'm handsome.
Or beautiful.
Or beautiful.
Beautiful really messes with his mind. It's like, how is that possible?
And it disagreed with my idea of myself. I never considered myself to be handsome or beautiful.
I think I know you.
But I gave up my position about being right that I wasn't attractive because that would make my wife wrong for being with me.
Yeah.
I know you were listening while we were speaking with Adam.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and we were talking to him about he's in a time frame right now where he's growing his tolerance for love. I see that for you as well. And maybe it's true for all of us. But what was, Living Made Easy, for those of you who are listening and are new to our podcast or you haven't attended one, they're the 2-hour seminars we often do twice a week. Sometimes we do at least one Tuesday of a month when we're around, but it's usually a Monday night and a Saturday. And I believe it was a Tuesday that you came to more recently. And one of the things that happens is we have people who do, greet people as they come. And we often come right at start time. But sometimes we sign in early and we greet people along with the greeters. And I signed in early the other day. I don't recall if you were with me, Shia, or not. I just recall watching people, you hear the Zoom ding dong, like ding dong, and then who's coming? And then all of a sudden you popped up. And there were a number of people already on the Zoom seminar, and people were like, Thomas, hi, Thomas. Now, of course, when your audio is not yet connected, you don't hear any of that. People have gotten pretty savvy to watch it saying audio connecting, and then it says connected. So people greeted you with such enthusiasm and affinity. And I could see it was hard for you to tolerate. It goes against your story.
It does, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Since you know that, that's brilliant, because you can, on purpose, bypass the story. The story's not going to go away. It just
that's the problem. The story is there forever. It's like indelible. It's write once, read many. When you made that decision that you were less than attractive, that became indelibly imprinted upon you.
I'll never get a girl.
That's right. And now that doesn't mean that you cannot bypass that story, that storyline, that idea of yourself. But if you try to override it, you keep it. See, because anything you resist persists. But you can listen and hear the genuine pleasure in people's voices when they greet you.
And it's so easy on Zoom to look away, and then you're actually purposefully disconnecting rather than purposefully looking into the eyes of the people who are greeting you and allowing yourself to receive the hello. And you can do it with strangers too. You go into a coffee shop and they're like, hello, sir, what would you like today? And you're like, I would like a latte, or I'll take that pastry, or do you have a piece of cake? You can actually look at them and see them looking at you.
I do. I quite often do that when I go shopping. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not frightening, because you can leave and they're still going to be behind their counter.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I remember once, Thomas, when I was young and I moved to New York City, and I got a job one summer selling egg creams, which is a type of a New York drink with soda and chocolate syrup and milk.
Okay.
And it out of a cart. So like the person who owned the cart took me down to Wall Street, sat me on Wall Street, and people would come and they'd order a egg cream, and I'd make it for them, and then pay me the money, and they'd walk off. One day I'm at my cart, and the guy waits till a lot of people are walking by, and all of a sudden he shouts, kiss you? I don't even know you. And I was like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed, but I couldn't leave my cart. So even if they want to kiss you, they can't leave their counter. So I think you've got to practice not only with the people behind the counter, but with the people who are actually available to interact with you.
Yeah, that's a bit more difficult, yeah. But
only if you say it's more difficult. It's the same action.
Well, you're really good. It's in that, there's a chapter in Working on Yourself Doesn't Work, where I had a dream with we bought a sculpture in Bali, Indonesia, from a 7th generation or
wood sculptor
or 12th generation.
His name was Oka.
And Oka was also known to be a white magician. And he made me a little tiny Buddha that sat in a lotus blossom, which I still have. And he said, put this by your bedside and the Buddha will come to you tonight in your dreams. I was like, oh yeah, right. And that night I dreamt that I was putt-putt golfing with a little kid, And I said to the kid, I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this. And Oka showed up and he had the Buddha in his hand. He was holding it out and he said, excuse me, Ariel, you know that's not true. You're very good at anything you enjoy doing.
Mm.
When I woke up, I mean, I remember the grass on the putt-putt thing was vivid green. I remember that it was a vivid dream. And Shai has often reminded me of that, Thomas. If you're having fun with dating, you're going to be very, very good at it. That's why you're so good at photography. You like it, you want to do it, you have fun with it. If you have dating as a project that will make you better when you finally get it, it's going to be a very different thing.
Mm. Yeah, that's, yeah.
Oh, and Thomas, my dear, the moment shows up newly. So you don't know who's going to show up in your space in the next moment. Maybe in your apartment, you know, there's nobody else there. But I mean, you walk down the street and you might meet somebody that you like and they like you. And it's a spontaneous meeting of two people. But you got to be available. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I got to say, you have a great eye. You have a great eye for photography. You probably have a great eye for people if you're willing to look them in the eye.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Well, you'll see if
Well,
you feel to.
You can take Ariel's word for it.
I will do that, yeah.
Good. Because she's a good judge of people.
I am. I have a really good eye for people, and particularly people with a great heart like yours.
Thank you.
By the way, I know that the people who are listening, unless we record this or release this as a visual, you can't see that Thomas looked away when he said thank you. It's tough, isn't it? All these people, they like you. Oh, how is that possible? Fun being with you today, Thomas.
Yes, Thomas, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. You want to be a guest on the show? Submit a request. We'll have you on the podcast. It may take a little while. We do pre-record some of these, but we'd love to have you.
Yeah, go to Transformation Made Easy /being here and find out how.
Next week's episode is really timely.
Family.
A master class in listening. Perfect timing. It's the holidays.
Yes.
We'll be back next week.
So come on back.
And don't miss
being
here.